Hello, everybody. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Now, we must answer the question, was there anyone else apart from Gina who could have possibly shot Mr. Winterbanks? You know what? In this game, we've always had to just say, yeah, okay, so we're gonna have to try it and hope for the best. But I don't know who for sure. Mr. Skulkin. Eh, what? What's I looking for? But the moment you admitted that you entered the victim's face-to-face that night, the course of this trial changed completely. It did? What is your point, my learned friend? The question we must answer is who could have shot Mr. Winterbanks? And it is the belief of the defense that the defendant is not the only possible answer at all. You have my attention. In that case, let's return to this plan of the premise. The victim was killed in the storeroom, which was locked from the inside. Those are the facts. So pray, what other possible answer to the question of who shot the man could there be? Counsel, you must now provide answer to the court in respect to the two conundrums. Two, my lord. Twice as many chances to be right, maybe? Indeed, namely, what location did the culprit shoot the victim, and furthermore, where was the victim at the time? Understood, my lord. You're right, Runo. I'm not entirely sure, but there's one thing I'm sure about. If I can prove that there's a credible new alternative to what happened, it would change Gina's prospects hugely. So now, time for some clarity. Show the court on this plan the answer to the question posed by his lordship. If you believe someone else could have killed the victim, indicate from where that person could have fired the gun. Oh. I mean, there's no other locked room in here. What if we just said outside the door, like right here? Maybe someone could have killed the victim, indicate where the person could have fired the gun. Well, right on the door. There's like a peek hole, or whatever you call it.
Take that!
Let's see. Oh, it's actually going to show the person. I might actually have to put him behind the door. The defense believes the culprit could have shot the victim from this location. And an answer to the second question. Can I go back? Assuming the culprit fired from that indicated location, where was the victim at the time? In
Take
here?
That! Objection!
Oh, well, it didn't even let me finish. What your answer, in fact, shows is that your own position is absurd as those who have indicated on the plan. What are you saying? Okay, I got it wrong, I know. Maybe let's try putting it on the other side of the door instead of on the door. Alright, let's try this again. What's the best move here? Should I try again or gather more information first? I'll give it one more try. It sounds like we do need more information. But at least I know where to go back from here. So, okay, let's try this one more time. Because apparently I need new information. Let's try here. Say he was here. Defense believes he was here. And then the second question, we say he was in here.
Take that!
Wait, it got quiet. The culprit shot the victim from outside the storeroom. Continue. It got quiet. That must mean I must have gotten it right. Mr. Winterbanks died instantly from a bullet wound in his back. Looking at the stain of the blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body was moved after death, which tells us that he was almost certainly shot while he was in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is, where was the shooter when the fatal bullet was fired? So you are adamant that the shot was fired from outside the storeroom? Well, according to the Skulkin brothers' earlier testimony, I pulled my gun on him and then he legged it through that door into the back room. If Mr. Windibanks ran away through the door, we have to assume that the door was open at the time. Ugh. It was at precisely that moment when the victim was fleeing for his life. And these brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot the man in the back once he was inside the storeroom. Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutors said at the start of the trial? Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner, his report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Poor man, shot while he was running as fast as he could to safety. Ah, of course, he would have been leaning forward as he was running away. So even if the bullet was fired horizontally, it would have still have entered his body an upward trajectory. So the culprit isn't necessarily someone shorter than Mr. Windibanks. I'm sure my learned friend can't have forgotten that the storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside. You claim the victim was shot as he fled into the room. Do you also have claims his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the key in the lock? But what if someone else locked the door? Yes, there is someone else who could have locked the storeroom door. Is that so? Very well then, counsel, present your hypothesis to the court. In the scenario just described, the defense assertion is that the victim was shot from the outside of the storeroom. In which case, who shut and locked the door from the inside? I mean, there was only one other person.
Take that!
Obviously, the person who locked the door was the other person inside the storeroom at the time. The defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. That's absurd. You're suggesting that the accused deliberately engineered the sealed room? For what possible reason? Such actions would only serve to tighten the noose around her neck. I'm glad to agree, I must say. Well, counsel? Wait, was that wrong? That's a tricky one, isn't it? But of course Guinea would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it? It does? Wow, they really made you feel like you got the wrong answer there. Well, if I was Guinea in that situation, I know I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean, those two buggers had just fired a gun in her direction, hadn't they? Yes, obviously. Before the two brothers arrived, Mr. Strahd and Mr. Windibanks were in the storeroom together. Now, I don't know what went on between them at the time, but at some point, Mr. Windibanks must have heard the intruders breaking into his shop and left the storeroom. Intruders, eh? That's us, bruv. Your theory is correct. That would leave the accused alone in the storeroom. Yes, it would. Then probably only moments later, the victim fled back through the storeroom door, hoping to escape the danger. Hit in the back by the bullet, Mr. Windibanks fell to the floor where he was just inside the storeroom. And what we have to ask ourselves now is what would the defendants have done in that moment? I see where you're going with this. Outside the storeroom was a terrifying killer who had just murdered Mr. Windibanks. As soon as that thought struck Miss Lestrade, she slammed the door shut and locked it. In order to save her own life.
Hold it!
But I ain't it. I mean, we ain't the ones who done it. We ain't gov, we ain't. We gotta believe us. I mean, come on, we never shoot no one. That's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact that you would, because before my own eyes, you shot Mr. Sholmes. There was only one logical conclusion here. Mr. and Mrs. Skulkin, you brothers had every opportunity to have been the true perpetrators of Mr. Windibanks' murder. Where does that leave us? You mean to say it wasn't the pickpocket who shot the pawnbroker after all? Well, no, it was the three brothers. They looked shady in the dense forest. That was amazing, Runo. All the members of the jury seem to firmly on your side now. I know, first time ever and probably the last. Well, I think you've done it. Surely they'll have to give the verdict or not. An admirable effort, my learned friend. What's this now? He's laughing. You find the situation amusing, Lord Van Zeeks? I myself find the defense arguments most persuasive. I dare say, such shinkansu, I don't know how to say it, chicanery is the bread and butter of the street performers in your provincial eastern nation. Chicanery. But such blatantly malicious conjuring tricks amount to nothing more than inexcusable pettifoggery here. What? The hypothesis you put forward so ostensibly credibly cannot and will not stand. Because you see, it contains a fatal flaw. Fatal flaw? Do you mean to tell me that you're unaware of your logic's failing? Well, it's probably because there's only one bullet fired from the gun they had, isn't it? I say, Lord Van Zeeks, might be an idea to explain this barley conjuring trick or whatever it is the troops on the ground, huh? The fatal flaw in my learned friend's argument is really simple to understand. Assuming you're not too dim-witted to count bullets. Yeah, that's what I thought. By George, count bullets? Oh dear. He noticed then. Huh? What's everyone talking about? Counsel? Yes, sir. Tell the court how many bullets were found at the scene of the crime. 2 bullets. Correct. The first, that which hit the victim in the back, ending his life. And the second, that which struck the detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, on his arrival at the scene. Indeed, the defense presented a picture showing the damage caused by the second bullet earlier in the proceedings. The bullet which injured Mr. Sholmes appeared to have passed through his body to strike the calendar. Your lordship's understanding is correct. Furthermore, we know there are 2 firearms involved in the scene. The revolver belonging to the victim, Mr. Winterbanks, and the Skulkin brothers' revolver. The evidence shows that a single bullet was fired from each gun. Yes, indeed it does. A bullet from each. Now then, my learned friend. You yourself told the court only a moment ago that these 2 brothers shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes right before your eyes. Yes, I did. Oh my goodness, I think you'll find that if a single bullet that was fired from the brother's gun hit Mr. Sholmes, it means Winterbanks not shot by same gun. Stop. Only 1 bullet. Stop. Exactly. Yes, this Nipponese street performer presented an ostensibly credible argument. However, it was never anything more than a diversionary trick with no hope of standing up to scrutiny. Order! Order! Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging the dregs of his hollowed nectar into the public gallery. Lord Van Zeeks! But this court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, is no ordinary little girl. Despite her young years, she can regrettably no longer be described as juvenile. No, the person in the dock is far from a law-abiding citizen. She has a past riddled with criminal conduct. The truth is, the accused broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question with loathsome intent. As we can see beyond a doubt in this print, which depicts her threatening the victim with the murder weapon. I have here in my possession one more piece of evidence from the prosecution wishes to present. That disc. I'll be taking that, whatever it is, from Mr. McGilded down to the yard. Thank you very much. No, don't. Don't give it to him. It's mine. That's mine. I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to Mr. McGilded has to be taken in as evidence now. Yes, that music box disc. Mr. McGilded's music box discs. The very day before the hateful murder of the Mr. Winterbanks, the accused attempted to make off with this article, which clearly doesn't belong to her. And with none of the subtlety of a pickpocket, I might add, but by brute force and brazen impudence. Good gracious. Make no mistake, any sympathy for the accused on account of her years is misguided and dangerous. There are no depths to which this girl would not stoop if pushed. No crime she would not commit. The court forgets that fact at its peril. I see. I think it would be prudent to take the music box disc into evidence, counsel, as a grim test. Lord Van Zeeks, Inspector Gregson, what? Yes, Inspector. We had a meeting like this yesterday at the yard with the prosecution service, and, I think it was agreed that the disc wouldn't be used as evidence. What's this all about? Why is the inspector acting strangely? That's the first time he said anything to Lord Van Zeeks at all. I am aware at any such meeting. But those were the instructions right from the top. The government bigwigs were insistent. Inspector, I am the prosecutor, and I alone determine how to present my case. Your warning is noted. Thank you. Oh, what secrets are on this disc? The prosecution wishes to proceed with submitting this disc into evidence, my lord. Indeed, bailiff. Okay, so we got the music box. Can we look at it and see if anything's changed onto it? Alright. Oh. Wait a second. There's blood. That means we can probably do the blood thing. Oh, Runo, look! This is blood! Yes, you're right. Just a small smear, but definitely blood. Actually, I feel as though I might have noticed that before. Then it's time to shine again. My time to shine again. I thought I'd be waiting forever. Alright, hold still with the disc, Runo. Can we get this done quickly, Iris? In a flash? In a flash! Ooh, who's the color? Oh, it's green. Wait. Green. What is it? It's just that green. It's not the first time we've seen that color, is it? Blood samples portfolio has been updated in the courtroom. Oh my goodness, it is that Egbert guy. Egbert. Egg Benedict, whatever his name is. Alright, let's look out portfolio so I can show everybody. Alright, so we got this green stain of blood. I kind of thought it was just Mr. Sholmes and Mr. Sholmes' blood. But Mr. Sholmes wasn't the one holding the music box and was scratched by it. It was the weird, awkward gentleman. Ooh, things are getting good now. The prosecution has established the accused motive, opportunity, and baseness of character. There's nothing more to add. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I await your information. Oh, sorry. I await your informed decision and rest my case. So that means the third bullet is actually still inside Mr. Sholmes. Oh, hopefully they took it out. I don't believe it. I had the jury on my side for once. For all 5 minutes. Oh dear. It wasn't even for 5 minutes, Runo. My lord. I wonder if I might say something at this point. Proceed, Mr. Foreman. Been stumbling about in a bit of a fog up to now, if truth be told, but all of a sudden, the answer's body obvious to me and my bed. There's only one thing for it. Oh no, they're all just gonna say guilty, are they? Very well, the court will hear from the judge. Jury. Ladies and gentlemen, you present your leanings as a defense culpability. Guilty.
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 Oh boy. Got another summation examination. Sorry, I chuckled because I love seeing that old man bash his face into the desk. We have a consensus among the jury, it seems. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. That's my line. I wrote that for Hurley. How dare you use it against us? Don't worry, Iris, I don't think we're finished yet. There's still more to the case than we realize. There must be, because there's one thing that I'm absolutely certain of. Gina didn't shoot Mr. Windibanks. That's beyond any doubt. Very well. We will proceed with the second summation examination of the day. Mr. Foreman, are you and the other jurors ready? Gilliam Squadron is primed and ready for action, sir. Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain what grounds you now determine the defendant to be guilty. Oh boy. Well, I think we should probably end this part here. So, thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and until then, I will see you all later. Goodbye.